Hey guys, Kung Fu Disco Elf here, and I think I'm going to show you what I do to get backpacks and how I farm Atlantis for that. So hopefully I cover all the topics and give you a pretty clear understanding of the method that I use. And I think a lot of people use this method, but the key for me is backpacks. Really, kind of two things: backpacks and tornadoes. Tornadoes are used on Titans and Mythic Titans and some of the other events, like the tower events, where you need them. And they're kind of key play to the game, but you kind of run out of those items quite often. So Atlantis comes around, and then that's where you can get all the items that you need to progress in the game, level your heroes up faster. You always hear people power leveling heroes. They can do that because they have so many backpacks where they can actually do that. So, what you need for farming is you need loot tickets. So you can see here at the bottom, I currently have 356 loot tickets. I actually had a lot more than that. I had about 650, but I used a bunch this morning. I didn't have time this morning to do the recording, so I'm kind of doing the recording when I'm almost done farming, actually. Normally, I only have about 400, 380 to 420 loot ticks is usually what you can kind of procure over the time of a month. And that's usually between your VIP, between getting a VIP bonus every day. And then in the shop, sometimes they'll feature loot ticks. I think it's like 1,400 gems, and you get so many, and some world energy. And then sometimes up underneath this summon gate, right underneath the summon gate, they'll pop up an offer for more loot ticks. And I think that those are, I'm not sure if those are coins or cash, but I don't know if they're gems or cash, but either way, you're paying for it. So I usually pick them up because it's kind of important to the game. So depending on your level of play, whether you're free to play, cheap to play, or pay to win, you always want to kind of get as many loot ticks as you can, because that's going to be key in your ability to get backpacks and to create backpacks, actually. So I kind of create those backpacks with the loot ticks by farming a certain level, and I'll show you what that is here in a minute. But what I basically got going on here are these three training centers. I got this one here on the left this is a TC11, and it's one of the cheaper ones. I think all you need is heroes and ham. I mean, all you need are recruits and ham to fill this up, but it's slow going. So as you can kind of see right now, I have it loaded up to 41 days, and if at the end of 41 days, I'll have 869 feeders, 1 and 2 stars, and currently right now I got 366 stored in that one. So I run two TC11s, which are these two on the right of this diamond shape for me. So in this one, I have a lot more saved because I just pulled a bunch out of this one, and I just pulled a bunch of feeders out of this one, and I usually leave this one go, and I leave this back one go untouched. So this TC11, has a lot. When I ever have extra recruits and ham, I kind of throw it in this one, but I don't like to overdo it too much. But 244 days, 4,500 in there, but I currently have 1,600 saved up. So 1,600 and 360, so we're at 390. Let's see, 66, and there's 3, so not quite 2,000, but almost 2,000 recruits right there now. And this one, this is TC2 that I run, and these are backpack based, and they run a lot faster. I think it only takes them like a half an hour to make a backpack. So you got to load this up a lot. And I like to keep these things at 60 days each. And when Atlantis started, these were both down around 30. One might have been at 45, the other one was at 30. Because over the month I'll feed this back one up. So that's why it was at 45 instead of equal 30 as the other one. So over the course of 30 days, I'm dumping recruits and backpacks into this back one and increasing the time on it. While the timer ticks down from 60 to 30 days, I'm adding more onto this. So usually by the time Atlantis comes around, this back one's at 45 and this front one's at 30. So this morning I filled these up to 60, and then I got this up to 53, and I'll finish it off at 60 and think about maybe just going over the top a little bit more or save my loot ticks for next month. But right now, if I look at this one here, I got 1,500 in here. You can see at the bottom. So between this 1,500 and the other 1,600, I mean we're at about 3,500, maybe 3,600 recruits. Plus this back one here, I have 8,900. So I probably have about 12,000 feeders right now, which is going to allow me to power level any hero that I want to power level. Right now, these kind of starting here with Anton, this guy, and Crave Crush. Those are kind of who I'm really focused on right now. And I got to do some quick feeding here because when I go to farm, I'm going to run out of space, and it just won't give you. It won't overfill your capacity. It'll just cap it out, so you'll be wasting heroes. You always got to kind of watch that. So I'm just going to, basically this yellow one gets every color. I mean, really, except for green for me right now. I like to pick a couple that I want to focus on for farming because they come up quite a bit. This guy was at the second tier and had about halfway through second tier. And farming, I got him up through the second tier and about halfway through the third tier, and we're not done yet. So you make a lot of progress in farming. That's the other thing. You can get your heroes up fast just by farming. And when you start off Atlantis, the key thing is to have all your food filled up completely. I usually start about 2.5 days before Atlantis. I'll stop using ham. And I will let this storage area up here fill up to 3,300, to 3.3 million. And then I will let my farms fill up to where they turn yellow like they are right now. And then once they kind of turn yellow and my ham starts going down, I will begin to, I want the farms to keep farming. So I'll dump those back into the storage area that you get. I don't know what you call that part. So anyway, what I want to do here is show you what I do for, when you farm, you do get some ham. You don't get a lot of ham, but the area that I farm, you do get a lot of iron. And that's key because that's going to allow me to fill up tornadoes. So you can see at the bottom, I had 47 tornadoes that I've built so far through this day of Atlantis farming. And there's going to be a lot more. Typically, I can get that anywhere between 50 and 70. And I think I'm going to be in a higher range this time. Probably get it around 60 or 70 tornadoes is what I'll make. And that should be plenty to get you through a month and until the next Atlantis. So people are always complaining that they're running out of tornadoes and that they don't have enough crude iron, which you need to make them. It's just because they're not farming correctly. So what you want to do is you want to come over to your number 2, your Atlantis area, and you want to go into number 1 here. And you can farm in 7, 8, 9. So Barry's Farm Guide says 7 is the best place. But then in small print it also says, really, I think, any of these will work. And I usually do 7, 8, or 9. I don't do 10 because if you do 10 and finish it, it puts you over here in the middle when you come back, and then you got to scroll over, and it just seems a little inefficient. I might be picky about that, but I usually skip 10 because 10 relocates 10 relocates you when you finish up the level. All right, so what you do is, so right now I got 32 Wii. Let's burn that. I'll go in here, and you want to make sure you're on hard. So go in here, and let's use some of our tickets up to 32. It looks like I can only get to 28. And, okay, we get some Atlantis coins. And, okay, I'm not going to show this here. I think what I'm going to do is let's go and, okay, I think we're okay. I was looking at something else. I'll explain that in a minute, what I was looking at. All right, so anyway, you want to come back in here, and I got 4 Wii left. I could go into the normal and burn that, but I think it's better just to waste it because the loot tickets are expensive. And you want to use them in the hard mode because that is where you get the most bang for your buck for the crude iron, which you need, and for the backpacks that you need. So I'm going to use some of my loot tickets up here. I can use 8 at a time. I'll use a refill, and then we'll fire off. Okay. So up at the top, you see I got 57,000 ham, and I got almost triple that in iron. So that's good because that's how you make tornadoes is with the iron. So my iron fills up, and I'm able to churn out, like I said, 50 to 70 tornadoes each Atlantis. And the other thing that you're going to need to do that with is, okay, so there we go. I got 41 backpacks, which is a lot. And then we're going to go burn those right now. And I got 5 crude iron, which is great. That's a really good number. Okay, and then I got a bunch of feeders that we're going to use. So I really farm Atlantis for those things, for the iron, the crude iron, the backpacks or adventurer's kit, and your feeders. Okay, and you're going to need recruits as well. So you're going to get everything that you need from these beginning levels. You don't really need to farm anywhere else. And I guess, look, so we filled this up. Let's grab that. So I get some more ham and some more iron. That's pretty good. It's about all you can expect out of those chests because they're garbage, right? Okay, so now what we did here is we filled up our recruits, so we need to unload those. I still got room in my iron storage, so I'll probably do a couple more before I burn that and show you what that is. And my hero capacity is maxed out, so I always want to get in there and eat these up. So, oops. And let's get Anton going. Okay, so now we cleared that out and we're ready to do another farm. And now let's clear out our recruits and backpacks. So like I said, I fill up my TC2s for 60 days. I still have 7 days to do on this one. So I'll go in here, just hold this down and burn through it. Okay, I got some extras left over there, but I don't worry about those. I just kind of keep those for after Atlantis when my recruits build up, and eventually we'll burn through those backpacks and fill up my my training camps. And I think that's it. We are now ready again to come back and burn through All right, I don't wait. I just tap it out usually. And I'll show you what I did. So I got some Atlantis coin there, which was good. 41 backpacks. And typically these backpacks I'll usually get between 34, 32, 34, and even upwards of like 52, which is always a good pool when you can get up to 52. 41 is really good. Okay, and then 5 more crude iron. So, and depending on your storage, like for me, I gotta unload each time, and when you get into the rhythm, it goes really fast. So I usually just run in here, burn my recruits. Okay, and then I'll come in here and I'll burn my feeders. And burning your feeders, depending on who you're leveling up. If you're leveling up in Rainbow or like I'm just dumping everything into this guy because I mean I'm not in any rush to get heroes. I got a lot. I think I'm like close to 80 or I'm at 80 or something like that. So for me, color feeding I'm less worried about. Like when I was starting off, color feeding is the way to go. But that's I don't want to digress. So I think after the next one, we'll do the tornadoes. All right, so we come in here again and use a refill. Tap it out quick. 21 Atlantis coin. That's a haul. That's a nice one right there. 40 backpacks, pretty good. Up 6 crude iron. That's pretty good. I think I've gotten up to 8 crude iron before. I don't know if I've gotten higher than 8. I don't know if I've hit 10 or not. Okay, and we're at 55.20 for that. Should take us to 56, so we're getting closer to 60. And I just do this each time because I don't want to not get feeders if the game's going to give them to me, so I always want to have room for those. Okay, and we're at, let's do one more time. I usually like to get up a little bit higher before I burn tornadoes, so this will go pretty quick. I maxed that out, use that, tap it out. See, there I only got 3 Atlantis coins. That's not as many. And there I got 46 backpacks. And, oh, look at that, 11 crude iron. I was just saying, I guess so. Sometimes you can get, maybe I got more than that in the past. I don't know. But that's a good haul. All right, so let's go back. We got 8 new recruits to eat up. 8 new heroes to eat up. Feeders. So we're making some good progress on the ones that we want to level. And let's get rid of our recruits here, and then we're going to go and okay. So now I'm almost maxed with my iron. What I'll do is I'll just come in here. I got 4 hours and 22 minutes left, but we're going to increase that about a bit now. Like I said, let's see what we do here. Okay, so now we're going to be up. You see at the bottom, we're up to 56, and I'm going to do a bunch more farming yet. So like I said, this is probably going to be close to 70 tornadoes I'm going to make, which is going to be enough for a lot of stuff that comes up through the month. I think we got Ninja event next in a couple days, and I think Mythic Titan now is every other month. So there'll be some other places to burn tornadoes, and then your everyday Titan as well. But anyway, that's kind of how I do that, and that's the only way you can get enough backpacks saved up. Like I said, I got 12,000 backpacks right now, which means I really could just power level this guy if I wanted to. I'm just not in any rush. If Rush War was coming up again, I might power level this guy up. Or if I get some sort of fancy new hero that I want to do. But really these two here, I'm working on this guy and this guy. for Rush Wars, really. And then, I'm working on that guy. It's like the 4-star that I'm interested in leveling right now. But I could power level these guys if I want because I have enough backpacks. It's just I don't know. Though sometimes the more heroes you get, the less interested I am in power leveling stuff. But it kind of depends. Sometimes I get excited, but I always want to have that reservoir there, especially if you get a new hero and you want to work on them and do that instead of like taking 2 to 3 months to level up a hero. You can do it in 2 to 3 days or 2 to 3 hours. Which is a heck of a lot faster than waiting, 2 to 3 months to level up a 5-star. So hopefully that clears it up, shows you what I do. TC11, TC11, TC2, TC2, and farm backpacks until these 2 TC2s are about 60 days apiece, and make sure you buy all your loot tickets that you can, and then don't spend them. Don't spend the loot ticks on anything except for Atlantis. That's it. And and you're going to get plenty of tornadoes to get all kinds of really cool stuff. By getting better scores on Titans and better scores on the Ninja Towers and better scores on Mythic Titan and whatever other type of event that SG's coming out with. So tornadoes are really kind of key to shuffle those bad boards up. And that's really kind of the basics, man. So hopefully that is beneficial for you. I mean, if you have any questions, just let me know.